Oaks and Legends get set to kick off here on the Oaks Baseball Network and KDTV. Welcome everybody into the broadcasting booth where the Oaks are back home after a 3-game road stretch along with Jonah Malkin. My name is Jonathan Rifkind, and it is a pleasure to bring you Oaks baseball on a beautiful Sunday morning from Cal Lutheran University. The Conejo Oaks coming off an exciting win yesterday against the Santa Barbara Foresters, 6-4, snapping a 3-game losing streak. They are now at 12-6 overall, 8-6 in the CCL. The Long Beach Legends come in today with a 14-9 record, 5-6 in the CCL. Jonah, the Oaks opened up their road trip against against the Academy Bear, and they lost in a 10-5 blowout. And then they go up to SLO, they lose to the Blues 3-0, get shut out. And then all of a sudden, they go to Santa Barbara, play the best team in the CCL, and the Santa Barbara Foresters, and for some reason able to come out on top 6-4. They were down 4-2. They put up a 3-run 8th inning, and then a 8th inning, and then a 1-run 9th inning to seal the deal. What did the Oaks display yesterday that wasn't displayed in the first 2 games on the road, and how can they take what they did yesterday into today's important game against the Legends?
Well, for some people, they say Disneyland is their happy place, but for the Oaks, clearly playing the Santa Barbara Foresters must bring out the best in them and give them that comfort that they need, like they're sleeping in their bed every single night. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but they turned on the switch at the proper time. And I think, look, a lot of that, as we talked about, was predicated on their ability to generate hits and runs early on in the game. We saw that they jumped out to a 2-1 lead midway through the second. They put 2 on the boards in the top of the second, and that's been their recipe for success, is scoring early. And the other important thing is we finally saw their ability to close the game yesterday. Obviously, Robbie Medell came in and had his 4th save of the season, but Evan McMillan pitched extremely well, helping the Oaks. Simonsgard played well, literally from top to bottom. Nate Wenner playing an important game on the road against the Foresters. So, and Angus Denton, not to mention, came in for relieving. So they just played an all-around game, which is one of the first games from start to finish that you can honestly say they played well. They battled adversity. They were up, they were down midway going to the top of the 8th. So they just had an impressive game, and it's fun to be an Oaks fan, especially, you know, they had that 3-game slump, but they've come back stronger, and I expect them to continue and carry that momentum into today's game.
Yeah, momentum is exactly what this team needs. These are a very important game now for the Oaks. They will have to win out today against the Long Beach Legend, as they are tied for 2nd place in the CCL Central in a game back in the wild card. Thus far, though, with a long stretch of season still left, I wouldn't worry too much as the teams get set on the field for the national anthem coming up here in just a moment. But the Ventura Halos and the Conejo Oaks are both tied at 8-6 in the CCL for 2nd in the Central Division. The Foresters up 2 full games. The Foresters and the Blues duke it out today at 4 o'clock, which means that the Oaks, if they win early today, they'll be paying attention to that Foresters game. Now the Halos, they don't have any CCL games until Tuesday when the Oaks play them, which is a very big deal because they play the Golden Sox today and tomorrow. If the Oaks can win today, they take sole possession of 2nd place no matter what happens with the Halos, because their CCL record will be better, and then they play the Orange County Riptide tomorrow. So 2 home CCL games for the Oaks, which will result in a possible at least sole possession of 2nd place if they can split those games. Now, if they can win both of them, then they'll be up 2 games. And if the Foresters drop 1, then the Oaks can even be tied with them for 1st place. So today's game is just that much more important for the Legends. They lead the South Division right now at 5-6, a very weak South Division at that. But they're also a pretty good team at 14-9. They took the Saints to 12 innings back on Thursday. Then they lost both games on Friday to the Foresters before winning yesterday against the San Luis Obispo Blues. A lot of implications here for both teams as we hit the national anthem. We're going to send it down to our PA announcer, Chris Raffanelli, for the national anthem. We'll be right back. Nice quartet for the national anthem here from Sparky Anderson Field. Welcome back, everybody. Jonah Malkin, myself, Jonathan Rifkin for Oaks Baseball on KDTV, simulcasted onto YouTube. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday morning. I guess hitting afternoon now. It's 11:58 on June 26. For the Oaks, Ray Lambert will be on the mound getting his first start, but we're going to start off with the starting lineup for the visiting Long Beach Legend, coming in at 14-9 overall. 5-6 in the CCL. Kicking things off from Azusa Pacific University, and in center field is Grant Gamble. In the number 2 spot, Trevor Steinman, shortstop from Chico State. Michael Stefanik behind him from Westmont College in Santa Barbara, playing second base in today's game. In the cleanup spot for the Legends is Reese Berberet, playing third base from Long Beach City College. Tommy Anderson behind him, playing first base from Doane University in Nebraska. Harrison Smith is in the 6th spot, DHing today from Oral Roberts University, and Jake Scott is in the 7th spot, playing left field from Houston Baptist. Following him in the 8th spot, Richie O'Reilly, playing catcher today's game from Georgetown University. And to wrap things up here for the visiting Legends is Luke DeVenny from Eastern Michigan. He'll be in right field for today's game. For the Conejo Oaks, DJ Miller in center field from Ole Miss will lead things off, followed by Milo Beam out in right field from Purdue. In the 3 spot is Brandon Lewis, DHing in today's game from L.A. Pierce Junior College. Chase Cockrell is in the cleanup spot for the Oaks, playing third base from Ole Miss. To finish off the Oaks lineup here in just a moment, Max Weinstein at second base from Cal Lutheran is in the 5th spot. Cody Santana from playing first base from Hawaii Pacific is in the 6th spot. In the 7th spot is Jordan McFarland from Arkansas out in left, and Grant Mayu is the shortstop from San Diego State in the 8th spot, and Jacob Castro from UC Irvine is catching in today's game in the 9th spot. Ray Lambert from San Diego State is on the mound getting his first start with Oaks as he kicks and fires to Gamble, and he pops it up over to left field where Jordan McFarland will take a couple of steps back and glove it for a quick out number 1, 1 pitch, 1 away. For the Legend on a 1-game winning streak after dropping 2 on a doubleheader in Santa Barbara on Friday. They beat the Blues yesterday in a big win. That actually was a good help the Oaks, because the Blues losing after beating the Oaks gives the Oaks a little bit of leeway and will try to stifle the Blues from coming back at the bottom of the CCL Central. Trevor Steinman steps in now from Chico State, playing shortstop in today's game as Lambert kicks and fires the first pitch to him, a curveball upstairs. This is the 4th appearance for Lambert for the Oaks, but the first start. The Oaks are in their navy blue uniforms with the white letters on the front, outlined by baby blue and white letters on the back. The 1-0 pitch from Lambert is low for ball 2.
Yeah, and already we saw from the Legends swinging on the first pitch they saw was Gamble, and that's something hopefully the Oaks have learned their lesson about not to do.
The 2-0 pitch in is ripped foul for strike 1. The Long Beach Legends are in their all-red uniforms with white letters on the back, white letters on the front that say Legend, outlined by a blue with gray pants. As Lambert toes the rubber, sidesteps, kicks and fires the 2-1 pitch from the stretch inside for ball number 3. 1 away here in the top of the first in a very important game with a lot of CCL implications for both of these teams. As Lambert deals the 3-1 pitch. It's a curveball upstairs, and that it will be ball 4. So 1 pitch, 1 out, but Trevor Steinman's able to draw a walk as the number 2 batter in today's matchup. And there is 1 on now with 1 away from Michael Stefanik from Westmont College, not community college, out in Santa Barbara. The Oaks were supposed to play the second game of the season against the SoCal Cubs, but that didn't end up happening because they couldn't host the Oaks. The Oaks ended up taking both those games anyways. Run on first, 1 away. Stefanik steps in, and the first pitch is called a strike at the knees. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, just a beautiful fastball in the inside.
Lambert toes the rubber, checks the runner at first. Takes a sign from Castro, peers and fires, though. 1 pitch, runner fakes the go. It's a high curveball, got away from Lambert. High release, he even saw it coming, and that'll even the count of 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, and also you could see on the balance from Lambert, he fell kind of on his foot when he tried landing. That's part of the reason that ball stayed up and didn't drop.
Waiting on deck patiently is Reese Berberet in the cleanup spot. 1 away, 1 on, 1-1 count. Lambert from the stretch deals, and it's way upstairs and inside for ball 2. That pitch at 91 miles an hour. He pitches between 89 and 92. Started his college career at Cal State University Northridge, where he redshirted his freshman season, then transferred to Ventura College, where he pitched for a year and had a sub-2 ERA. He was dynamite for the Pirates as the 2-1 pitch runs upstairs, 3-1 now. And then he transferred to San Diego State, where he was in a limited bullpen role this past season, 4.26 ERA. And now with the Conejo Oaks looking to rehabilitate his pitches here and try to work better out of the stretch. Getting his first start, Solis has been keeping his pitchers on a tight leash when they get their first starts. Most of them have been going 3 to 4 innings. Nate Wenner yesterday only went 3 1/3. From the stretch, Lambert kicks and fires the 3-1 pitch upstairs for ball 4. So back-to-back Watts here for the Legends. And they have 2 on with 1 away for Reese Berberet, the cleanup hitter from Long Beach City College.
Yeah, and a nice job from the Legends staying patient in the batter's box. And quickly, Coach David Solis is going to walk up onto the mound.
Solis in his 11th year with the coach, 6th year as the head coach. He's also taken over as the pitching coach this year as well, along with his head coach duties. Pitching coach Hernandez from Oaks past announced his retirement from the Oaks this past year at Oxnard College. Quick meeting on the mound between Castro, Lambert, and Coach Solis. A couple words are exchanged. The meeting breaks, and we are back to baseball. 1 away, 2-1 here in the top of the first inning. 2 walks for the San Diego State Aztec. The only San Diego State player for the Oaks on this year's roster, but as everybody can remember, Chad Spanberger last year, the big San Diego State cleanup hitter, was on the team last year. Oh, and Grant Mayu, I guess, is the first pitch as a strike. For strike 1. It is on the roster, though he didn't play last year with San Diego State due to his foot injury. But nonetheless, there are 2 Aztecs, as there's an 0-1 count to the Long Beach City College product. The Oaks will be headed to Long Beach City College to begin July to play the Legend. As the 0-1 pitch is fired in from Landert, popped up and out of play behind us here in the press box, and that'll bring the count to no balls and 2 strikes. This is game number 5 of the Oaks 8 games in 8 days stretch. Started last Tuesday against the Saints. Oaks won 7-1. Then at home against the Academy Barons, where the Oaks lost 4-2 on Wednesday. Lambert checks the runner at second. Toes the rubber. Kicks and fires, though, to pitch upstairs over the head of Berberet for ball 1. After that Wednesday's loss to the Barons, the Oaks headed on the road to kick off a 3-game road trip where they lost to the Academy Barons in Compton, 10-5. Then they headed up to SLO on Friday, lost to the Blues 3-0, and then were in Santa Barbara yesterday where they beat the Foresters 6-4 as the 1-2 pitch is cut on and missed for strike 3. Down goes Berberet, the first strikeout on the day for Lambert, and there are now 2 away with 2 on for Tommy Anderson from DeWan University in Nebraska.
Yeah, Lambert finally settling in on the mound, gave up a couple walks, but was throwing some decent pitches in the strike zone and now able to capitalize.
His fastball has been working. It's his curveball that has been off as he deals a fastball high, swung under and missed for strike 1. DeWan University, NAIA school in Crete, Nebraska, where Anderson plays his college ball. As a couple of practice swings, the Oaks and the Legends played 4 times last year. Legends ended up winning the season series actually 1-3 as the 0-1 pitch is a changeup on the outside corner for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. This will be the first of 4 matchups that these 2 teams play this year. Oaks will be headed to Long Beach City College, like I mentioned, to begin July. As Lambert checks the runner at second, kicks and fires, though, to pitch. It's popped foul and out of play, and we'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. I guess it's not really to begin July, but in July, on the 12th, or on 11th, they'll be in Long Beach to play the Legend. That'll be a tough one. And then they play in they have the CCL All-Star the next day and then back home against the Legend right after. So a 2-game series between these 2 games in the middle of July. As Lambert takes his time on the mound, a couple of practice swings from Anderson, sporting the number 12 on his back. Lambert checks the runner at second, fires, though, to pitch low for ball 1.
Yeah, that time Lambert just trying to see if Anderson might swing on the slider that drifted outside.
By the way, first pitch was at 12:01 local time. We're in the 7th minute of the inning. 2-on-2 away, 1-2 count. The San Diego State Aztec checks the runner at second and fires the 1-2 pitch. Popped foul against the screen. And we'll do it again at 1-2. Oaks will be home tomorrow against Long Beach Legend. That'll end the 2-game homestand for the Oaks before they finish their 8 games in 8 days on Tuesday in Ventura to take on the Halos. That'll be a big game depending on how the CCO Central pans out. The Slow Blues and the Foresters duking it out today at 4:30. The Oaks and the Legend here. The 1-2 pitch is fired in upstairs for ball 2. CCL Central, by far the most competitive division of the 3 divisions in the CCL. The North is led by the Legend. The Prune Packers are right behind them, but the Crawdads, the Auburn Wildcats, and the Rockhounds not too much of a threat. The 2-2 pitch is a fastball popped high and deep to right field, but that one's going to go foul and actually hit the car that was driving in and then roll on top of another car. So a little bit of danger, and that was actually dangerously close to my car, and I'm kind of worried. I feel like the Legends are maybe gunning for us here early, Jonah. Your car's right next to mine too, so you should be a little bit worried as well.
It certainly was drifting deep. I think that's the first time that it's legitimately kind of gone near the cars.
Oh, that's the first time it's clipped a car for sure. When car was driving in. 2-2 pitch from Lambert is a curveball just missing on the outside corner for ball 3. Throw goes behind Lambert, but Weinstein is right there to corral it and make sure the runners don't go. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Fighting back from an 0-2 count is Anderson, showing patience in the box. No hits here in the top of the first on no runs and no errors for the Legends, but 2 on 2 walks. Lambert also has a strikeout under his belt, getting his first start here with the Oaks. Does the rubber, checks the runner at second, kicks and fires. The payoff pitch, runners go. It's inside, called ball. So that'll walk the bases loaded here with 2 away for Harrison Smith.
Yeah, on that time, Lambert threw it 2 inside. Obviously, you don't want to give throw a curveball. You don't want to give the batter an opportunity to swing on a ball that drops, but I would have expected perhaps pitch closer to the top of the strike zone for a swing.
2 away, bases loaded now for Harrison Smith from Oral Roberts University, the Golden Eagle. He steps in. Lambert, bases loaded, fires the first pitch away for ball 1. Castro, one of 3 Oaks catchers today getting the start. Juan Gonzalez started the last 2 games for the Oaks. And Ray Lambert, and Zane Williams got to start 2 games before that, as there was a warning to the Oaks dugout. The home plate umpire here in the top of the first already telling them to knock it off. The Oaks are a very vocal team from the dugout, and they have gotten a warning once this season, but not this early. Normally umpires kind of shake it off. The 1-0 pitch in from Lambert is swung and missed for strike number 1. That'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. This is the number 6 batter in the lineup. Grant Gamble led things off for the Legends here in the top of the first with a flyout. Then Trevor Steinman walked. He's at third. Michael Stefanik walked. He's at second. Reese Burberry struck out. And Tommy Anderson walked. The 1-1 pitch is cut and missed for strike number 2. Lambert going right at Smith with 3 fastballs, and 2 have caught him swinging.
Yeah, and the good thing in this situation is since you have 2 away and bases loaded, you can make a play, go for any base, whichever one is open.
1-2 pitch in is a high fastball, swung on and missed for strike 3, the second strikeout on the day for Lambert. And the Long Beach Legend leave the bases loaded, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. We're through half an inning here from Sparky Anderson Field. No score, but the Oaks looking to change it on the bottom half of the inning. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back.
center fielder from Ole Miss, number 4.
Back here,
DJ Miller.
Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkin. DJ Miller is going to lead things off in the Oaks half of the first inning against Legend as Josh Aguilar steps in and pitches the first pitch for a strike for the Oaks, or against the Oaks. DJ Miller, one of the CCL leaders in batting average, takes an 0-1 pitch high and away for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Ole Miss running Rebel as the 1-1 pitch is fired in upstairs for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to Miller in yesterday's game. Miller went 0 for 5, but he reached on air back in the 9th inning. That ended up scoring a run for the Oaks as the 2-1 pitch is upstairs for ball 3. Josh Aguilar undecided where he's going to go in the fall. Getting his first start here for the Legend. The 3-1 pitch in is upstairs for ball 4, and DJ Miller leads off with a walk. The Legend left bases loaded in the top half of the inning. Ray Lambert walking 3 batters, but able to get out of the jam. And Milo Beam from Purdue is going to step in. A big shout out to his mom, Nellie Beam, for listening to our broadcast and supporting those. Mrs. Beam, we appreciate your viewership, and we appreciate you lending your son to the Oaks as he shows bunt pulls back, pitches high for ball 1.
Yeah, I actually like this new starting lineup for the Oaks. I like having Miller to lead things off with Beam, and then Max Weinstein to buff up the middle of the order, which was an area that they were struggling in recently.
1-0 pitch. Beam shows bunt. Pitches outside. 2-0. Miller on first is by far the fastest Oaks player. Beam right behind him, but I would say that maybe Jason Oliver is a little bit more explosive, not in today's lineup. We'll probably see him pinch run later in the game, depending on how close it is. The 2-0 pitch, Miller takes off. The ball is mishandled by O'Reilly behind the plate, and that'll be a stolen base. Now 5 for 5 on the season is DJ Miller, which gives the Oaks a runner in scoring position and nobody away here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, he's such a speedy runner. Always poses as a threat anytime he's able to get onto base.
And I would even worry about him on second base. He gets a great jump, and he's going to swipe third as well. Beam shows bunt, heading to count 3-0. The 3-0 pitch just misses outside, and that's a 4-pitch walk to the Purdue Boilermakers. So the Oaks draw 2 walks here early. Aguilar pitching away from the Oaks, and if you're not aggressive with these Oaks batters, you're probably not going to pitch very well against them, as they have showed a lot more patience in the last couple of games. Jonah, we know that their Achilles heel offensively has been lack of patience, but over the last couple of games, they have done a very good job waiting on pitches and drawing walks as Brandon Lewis steps in. From LA Pierce College, originally committed to CSUN and has decommitted as the first pitch he sees is ripped foul for strike number 1.
Yeah, and already you see 2 patient batters for the Oaks leads to 2 consecutive walks.
First and second, nobody out. No score here in the bottom of the first. Both teams with no hits, but a combined 5 walks, 3 for the Oaks and 2 already for the Legend. It'll be a slow game if all these pitchers do is walk, though. 1 pitch in is popped foul, this time towards the right side for strike number 1. That one was not in danger of hitting a car, unlike the last fly ball that we saw out into the parking lot. A nice souvenir in the windshield for one of the occupants here at Cal Lutheran. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 on here to Brandon Lewis. Aguilar kicks and fires, though, to pitch a slider, take it on the inside corner for strike number 3. Lewis doesn't like to call, but nonetheless, he's caught looking down on strikes. The first strikeout on the game for Aguilar, and there's 1 away now for Chase Cockrell.
Yeah, that was just a beautiful curveball. Started up in the shoulders, dropped below around the belly area in the strike zone. Just a beautiful placed pitch.
Cockrell in the cleanup spot now for the Oaks, batting below 240 as he takes a slider on the outside corner for a strike. In yesterday's game, went 1 for 5 with 4 strikeouts and a single. Looking to change his misfortunes here as he hit the quadfecta yesterday. Aguilar deals, though, 1 pitch, another slider. This one's chopped to third. Gloving it is Berberet. He'll step on third base. The throw to first is over the head and out of play. Coming around third and coming home is Beam. Fielding the ball is Anderson. The throw to the plate is not in time, and the Oaks are able to score on the air and take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, once again, nice patience from the Oaks. They recognize the pitch goes, or the throw goes over the head of Anderson, and being the speedy runner he is, able to come all the way over from second and score.
That'll be an unearned run as Cockrell's on second base due to the error. They got the force out, so DJ Miller is back on the bench. Beam came around to score from first base. And they'll take it 1-0 with an error on the board now for the Legend. And early leads for the Oaks have been fizzling as of late. They took an early lead yesterday against the Foresters, but the Foresters came firing back as Max Weinstein steps in and takes the first pitch high for ball one. Weinstein had a 14-game hitting streak going into game one of the Oaks Road Series when they played the Academy Barons, and he went 0 for 5 that day. Runner is checked at second. Aguilar deals the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball cut on and missed for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away. One run, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. No runs, no hits, 1 error for the Legend here in the bottom of the first inning with 2 away. Cockrell takes a nice lead off a second, but with 2 away and not a lot of speed, I wouldn't expect him to go. The 1-1 pitch is fouled off for strike number 2. Weinstein led the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen to a championship just about a month ago. Led the team in batting average as well as OPS, on-base percentage, total bases, and RBIs. Division I talent on a Division III team. Started his career at UCI. As the 1-2 pitch from Aguilar is a slider, swung and a miss for strike 3. Down goes Weinstein. Second strikeout on the day for Aguilar. And we're out of the first inning. Nonetheless, though, the Oaks strike for a run on no hits, no errors, and they leave 1 runner in scoring position. 1-0 to score here as we hit the break. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV, simulcast it onto YouTube. When we come back, a little play-by-play from Robbie Mattel. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV, 1-0 to score.
What is up, Conejo Oaks fans? This is Robbie Medell, closer for the Oaks. I'm going to entertain you guys here for an inning as Ray is towing the rubber for his second inning of work. He's got 7, 8, 9 for the Legend. Jake Scott leading it off from, I can't read your handwriting there, Houston Baptist, a Texas boy. Shout out to the Republic. Lambert gets the sign. Wind up. The first pitch from Lambert is a strike. Beautiful pitch on the outside part of the plate. Good downward angle. Lambert's working on a lot. He got the complete package: fastball, curveball, changeup, and speaking of the curveball, one slides over the outside part of the plate. Working on a lot. The San Diego State product coming here, getting a lot of work, and has really progressed over the summer. And a fastball on the outside part rolled over. Cockrell makes the play, the wind, and the out. Cockrell looking athletic. The big body guy gets the glove down, turns the body around, fires over to Santana for the first out of the inning. Mississippi State does a great job with their weight program. Shout out to their weight coach. The legs on Cockrell and Miller, unbelievable. 1 out here for the Oaks. 1-0 is the score. Your Oaks up on the Legend early. And the first pitch to O'Reilly is a spike curveball on the outside part. By spike curveball, you know what I mean there, Jonah? He knuckles just the index finger. And that's what a spike curveball is. And a changeup there spits over the outside part. Yeah, no, it's changeup of 76.
It's amazing that you can spot that, Robbie, from over here. It must be a pitcher-to-pitcher type of thing.
Yeah, I watched his bullpen. And a good downward fastball on the outside part. Changing eye levels there is Lambert. 1-2 count. Oaks are up 1-0 after the error. The E5 in the last inning allowed a run to score, and O'Reilly slaps one to the left field. McFarland fields it. And that's the first hit of the day for the Legend. Lambert has allowed a few base runners due to walks. That is the first hit of the day for the Legend. And Lambert will be getting back into the stretch and dealing with runners on base with one out here in the second inning.
Yeah, O'Reilly saw the gap in opposite left field. Just hit a nice little shallow.
And the first pitch to Devine is popped. Beam under it. There will be no tag at first base, and Beam corrals it for the second out of the inning. Good job by Lambert there after the base hit, firing a low strike, and getting the F9.
Yeah, and that's why Coach Solis loves having Beam out in right field. Just speedy, athletic, can make plays. Made a couple of incredible catches in yesterday's game against the Foresters that saved some runs.
And the Legends are back to the top of the order with Grant Gamble, the Azusa Pacific product. I have a friend that goes to Azusa Pacific. Their ace, Kale Morton. I don't know if you're watching, Kale, but hello, I doubt it. And the first pitch to Gamble is a changeup down in the zone. Lambert at the belt, the pitch, and a beautiful four-spot fastball on the outside part for a strike. 1-1's the count with 2 outs here in the second inning. The Oaks are up 1-0. One hit for the Legend, also one error, which allowed the run last inning. 1-1 count. Lambert sets the belt, checks runner at first, and the pitch is a changeup swung on. And a great pitch, throwing the fastball and the changeup outside there, changing speeds, and got Gamble way out in front of that pitch.
Yeah, Gamble probably expecting a fastball, which was what Lambert had shown before.
And another changeup gets Gamble swinging. Lambert with 2 strikeouts on the inning, 1 hit, gets out of the inning with no runs. The Oaks are up 1-0, coming up with 6, 7, 8 of the order due up. And we'll be right back. This is Robbie Medell from KDTV.
The hosts like to take
And we're back for the bottom of the second. Cody Santana will lead us off. The All-American from Hawaii Pacific, Oxnard native, down the road. Just taking the 101 to Kalalua every day. Aguilar, a little lettuce out the back of the lid. Looks to keep the Oaks off the path this inning, and a fastball is up for ball 1. Santana, who started the season off really hot, is simmered down a little bit, but last night had a huge hit which fired up the Oaks, and as he rolls one over to second base, Stephanie over to Anderson for out number 1. Stefani, excuse me, Mom and Dad, if you're watching. You're probably watching the Legends broadcast, but
yeah, Santana came in clutch yesterday with a couple RBIs to help propel the Oaks to the win.
in the 7 hole, walking up to Humble by Kendrick Lamar is Jordan McFarland out of Arkansas. McFarland had the huge double in the 9th inning off the bench for the Oaks last night as he takes ball 1 just outside. McFarland, sitting around for 8 innings, comes off the bench and pounds a fastball into the left center gap last night, fired up the Oaks, and scored a huge insurance run.
Yeah, it was good to see him get a hit. He was struggling, roughly like 1 for 16 coming into that at-bat. Couldn't have come at a more optimal time.
The 1-1 pitch from Aguilar is on its way, and a fastball, a bit of a cutter at 86 miles per hour, touches the outside part. 1-2 count to McFarland. The Oaks are up 1-0 here in the bottom of the second, and a slider gets McFarland looking. Good sequence there from Aguilar. Third strikeout of the day from the man with the flow. Fastball outside, and a front door slider to freeze McFarland. As we have Grant Mayu, who's your everyday middle of the lineup guy for the Oaks, down to the 8-hole today. Hoping to see some fastballs to get the at-bats turned around, and he doesn't, as Aguilar spits over a first pitch slider for strike number 1. Aguilar working quick, and the second pitch also a slider. Strike number 2. Aguilar got a lot of pace today. Trying to get the Oaks hitters off balance as Mayu steps in. Aguilar, fastball up for a ball.
Yeah,
1-2 count.
Mayu was quickly down in the count. 0-1. Didn't have a second to adjust himself.
As Aguilar with the 1-2, a slider, and Mayu sees that one, rips into left field, and that's good for the morale for Grant Mayu, who's been struggling a little bit. You know, Mayu's always sure-handed in the infield, but has been struggling a little bit at the plate, and that's good to see him hit a slider. I watch Mayu in BP a lot. He's been asking to see a lot of sliders in BP, and from batting practice coach Brian Wilson, and the slider work has been paying off, it seems, as Mayu slaps that one into left field for the first hit of the game for the Oaks. The Oaks do have a run on an error, and Mayu is awarded the first hit of the game. First pitch to Castro is a fastball down at 90 miles per hour. That is probably going to be the hot spot here at Cal-Lu. It's Castro, the high school product out of Rio Mesa, who just finished up his senior year. Fun fact on Castro, you probably don't have in your notes there, Jonah. Castro was a valedictorian at his high school. Took IB math his junior year. We have a little genius on our hands who also catches well, as Aguilar with a quick feed on over to first gets Mayu sleeping. The Oaks with 1 hit, no runs, leave 1 on base. No, 0 on base because Grant got thrown out at first. Nonetheless, we're going to head to the top of the 3rd. That's going to do it for me because Jonathan wants his job back. It was fun while it lasted, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Mom and Dad, you can go back to watching the Rangers play the Yankees because I'm out and I'm not pitching today. Thanks for tuning in, and this is Oaks Baseball.
Trevor Steinman.
Back here at Cal Lutheran and George Sparky Anderson Field for the 3rd inning. Jonathan Rivkin, the voice is back, as myself and Jonah Malkin on the call. You just heard the voice of Robbie Medell, the closer for the Oaks, 4 for 4 on the season. Give a little bit of play-by-play as the number 2 man, Trevor Steinman, steps in and pops the first pitch he sees over to right field, running in on his beam, and he makes the snag in foul territory for a quick out number 1. Robbie always a fun guy, Jonah, to get up here. He is a broadcast journalism major over at the University of Arizona, and does a pretty good job nonetheless. He gives great content. He has good flow. His play-by-play isn't bad. And it's nice to see a very nice pitcher up here in the booth providing some content with us.
Well, not to mention, because he's an incredible pitcher, he understands the game so well and the mindset of the pitchers and where they like to place the balls.
Michael Stefanik steps in and chops the first pitch. He sees foul over to the left side for strike one. Yeah, Robbie definitely does a good job keeping the fans engaged. We hope that you liked Robbie up here. We give him at least one inning every couple of weeks when he's off. Great guy to be around. The 0-1 pitch in from Lambert. Is a curveball ripped into left field. No, it's bobbled by Conquer on third base, but he's able to corral it on the second attempt for out number 2. Good job there from the third baseman sticking with it. That'll be an L5, and there are 2 quick outs now. No runs, a hit, an error here for the Legends. The Oaks have 1 run on 1 hit, no errors. And what's been a pretty pitching performance on both sides. Lambert with 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. On the other side or actually 3 strikeouts for Lambert. On the other side as the first pitch is fouled back from Reese Berberet. Josh Aguilar has 2 walks and 3 strikeouts, so a very comparable day for both. The only difference is that 1 error in the field for a Legend allowed the Oaks to get a run in and take the lead. As Lambert toes the rubber. Kicks and fires the 0-1 pitch upstairs for ball 1. Quickly, a couple pitchers warming up in the bullpen for the Oaks. Lefty and a righty. As DeSigli is one of them as the 1-1 pitch. Skims the outside corner but called ball. 2 balls and a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 away, 1-0 our score here. As Lambert kicks and fires the 2-1 pitch at the knees, but just a little bit inside for ball 3. Umpire calling him close today. Yesterday that would have been a strike, but of course the man in blue has the say, and today a tight strike zone. Aztec Pearson fires the 3-1 pitch, and it's swung and a miss for strike number 2. Full count now.
Yeah, Jacob Flores warming up as well as Theron K. And as you mentioned, Jai, normally 3 to 4 innings is the limit for the starting pitchers for Coach Solis.
Payoff pitch coming. It's dealt, and it's a pop-up over to left field. Running in on it is McFarland, and he'll glove it for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down here for the Legend. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're through 2.5 from Sparky Anderson Field. Oaks lead at 1-0. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Simulcast it onto YouTube. We'll be right back.
Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can have Samantha.
Back here at Sparky Anderson Field, Jonah Malkin, myself, Jonathan Rifkin for the bottom of the 3rd inning. Oaks lead at 3-1 here on KDTV. 9-1, 2 hitters due up for the Oaks. Jacob Castro, who was in the batter's box to end the last inning, but Mayu was picked off at first for the 3rd out. We'll step back in. The valedictorian from Rio Mesa headed to UC Irvine, takes the first pitch from Aguilar upstairs for ball 1. And Jonah, get ready because I have a good story to tell you. It is not the trivia question. That'll come in the 7th inning. The 1-0 pitch fired in is popped foul back towards us in the press box for strike number 1. As Grant Gamble, when he steps in, will allow me to provide a little bit more entertainment for you. A very interesting story about where he goes to school in Azusa, California. As the 1-1 pitch is fired in and popped into shallow center field, running in on his Gamble, running back on it is Steinman, and the shortstop Steinman will make the catch for out number 1.
I'm always entertained by all the stories you tell, Johnny.
Thank you. As
Now
that now allows me
DJ
to
Miller.
bring up DJ Miller, when Garrett Gamble comes in again, I should say, for the Legend. I'll tell that story. On the Legend side, Miller at the top of the order for the Oaks from Ole Miss. I don't really have a story from Ole Miss as the first pitch he sees is slapped over to second. Running in on is Stefanik, and he'll fire it in first to beat Miller by a step for out number 2. So I guess I'll tell the story in the 7th when I get back play-by-play, as Jonah will take over for the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. Robbie Medell was in the 2nd inning. Nice array of play-by-play broadcasters for you here in this one as Milo Beam steps in. 1-0 to score, a hit for the Oaks, no errors, no runs, a hit. 1 error for the Legends, who play their ball at Long Beach City College. Beam steps in. The first pitch from Aguilar is upstairs and away for ball 1. On the day for Beam, 0 for 0 with a walk and a run scored. The only run for the Oaks as he swings and misses at the 1-0 pitch. That'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike on deck. Brandon Lewis in the hole. Chase Cockrell. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away as Aguilar deals the 1-1 pitch. It's a 2-hopper over to short, gloving it is Diamond, and he'll make the toss over to first for the out. Number 3 of the inning. So we're out of 3 now. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. The Oaks are retired in order, but they lead 1-0 as we hit the break. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV. It's a quick one as we hit the 4th inning. Don't go anywhere. Apologize for the stream delay, but we're back on the air as Jacob Flores, the new pitcher for the Oaks, steps in. Oaks up 1-0 here, and for play-by-play of the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, my broadcasting partner, Jonah Malkin.
Thank you, Jonathan. Welcome, everybody, if you're just tuning in to Oaks baseball as they're taking on the Long Beach Legends here in the top of the 4th as Flores' fastball catches the outside corner for strike 1. Tommy Anderson stepping in to the batter's box for the Legends. He's 0 for 0 on the day. He was walked back in the first as he swings and hits that one over to Cockrell at third, gloving it barehanded and making the toss to Santana for out number 1. So nice job from Cockrell. Said, I didn't even need the glove on that one. And just barehanded it to Santana.
Yeah, those are actually really hard plays to make, Jonah, because as a third baseman, you have to wait on that ball. When that ball's popped on a hop, you just have to stand there and hope that it comes down in time for you to make the play. And that time, Cockrell showed the patience and was able to make that play in 1 stride.
Harrison Smith steps in and watches that curveball drop in the strike zone for strike 1. Smith, the DH, designated hitter in today's game, 0 for 1. He was struck out back in the first. As Flores sets and fires the 0-1 pitch, that's fouled back and out of play for strike 2. Plays his college ball at Oral Roberts. Played 27 games, had 10 RBIs, in 38 at-bats in the Summit League. But he's quickly down the count 0-2 as Flores takes the sign from Castro. Stetz fires the 0-2 pitch. That runs inside for strike 3. So catches Smith looking, and that's the first strikeout on the day for Flores.
Yeah, Flores has been pitching very, very well. He had a rough start with the Oaks in the beginning of the season, but out of the bullpen, he's mostly used in short-term relief, headed to USC in the fall, and against the Blues the other night had 3 strikeouts against the batters that he faced, and really he's been pitching incredibly well out of Rio Mesa.
Yeah, the southpaw making his 5th appearance in today's game as Jake Scott steps in and fouls that one back to be down in the count 0-1. 88-mile-an-hour fastball. In his arsenal, Flores likes to utilize the fastball as well as the curve and the slider. Takes the sign from Castro, sets and fires the 0-1 slider that drops inside once again for strike 2.
Oh, beautiful rotation there. That arm just coming around, putting that nice backspin on that slider, a backdoor cut that allows that to drop in the strike zone.
Quickly fires the 0-2 pitch on the outside, just misses the strike zone for ball 1 after the late appeal from the first base umpire.
That was a close pitch, Joan, and like I said, tight strike zone here from the home plate umpire in today's game, making it hard on both these pitchers for both teams to paint those outside and inside corners.
Quickly 2 away, 1-2 pitch, chopped into left, and it's into right field, and it's going to drop for a base hit. Jake Scott is now 1 for 2 on the day after the blooper into shallow right. That's going to be the first hit given up from Flores. As Anderson grounded one over to third. Smith was struck out looking, and Jake And Jake Scott in the 7th spot delivers with a single. And in the 8th spot and coming up to the plate, Richie O'Reilly, the catcher from Georgetown. Plays his college ball at Georgetown. Played in 46 games. 170 batting average on the season. As the 0-0 pitch runs inside for ball 1. So Scott over at first. And O'Reilly up at the plate. He's 1 for 1 on the day with a single back in the 2nd. Looking to extend the hitting streak to 2 as the 1-0 pitch is fouled out of play to bring the count even at 1-1. The Oaks returning in today's game after a 3 road game stint to face the Legends. They'll play the Orange County Riptide tomorrow and conclude the 8-game stretch against the Ventura Halos on Tuesday. As Flores' pickoff attempt is good, and that will end the inning as Scott is picked off at first. And the Legends have no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Oaks lead 1-0. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Bottom of the 4th, Brandon Lewis, the leadoff hitter for the Oaks in the 3 spot. Chase Cockrell on deck and Max Weinstein in the hole to get things started here in the bottom of the 4th. Oaks still lead 1-0 on just 1 hit on the day as Aguilar delivers the fastball that runs inside for strike 1. Aguilar's actually had a pretty fine day on the mound. He's only given up 1 run because of the error as the 1-0 pitch is fouled out of play for 0-2. Lewis 0 for 1 on the day, but stepped up in a major way in yesterday's contest against the Foresters as he delivered a huge RBI double in the top of the 8th to give them the lead as Aguilar's pitch runs upstairs for ball 1. So 1-2 the count. Nobody on. No way. 1-2 pitch slides and fouled out of play for a strike 2 to keep the count at 1-2.
And actually Zane Willems, who was catching bullpen for the Oaks, was walking back to the bench and gloved that ball on the hop. That was a pretty impressive grab out there in foul territory by the Oaks catcher.
Aguilar sets and fires the 1-2 slider that just runs inside to bring the count even at 2-2. And Lewis, not known as a running threat and a speedy guy. He had 2 stolen bases in yesterday's contest as the 2-2 pitch is fouled. So we'll do it again. A number of opportunities yesterday for the Oaks. A number of stolen bases in advance because of at least 5 wild throws from the Foresters. Really helped them get back into the games. Aguilar quickly delivers the sliding 2-2 pitch that clips the foot of Lewis, and it's going to send him over to first.
Yeah, that slider didn't slide enough, and it hit him on the hip, which is a rough pitch if you're Aguilar, because that slider has been the go-to. And all of his 3 strikeouts have been on that slider, 1 swinging, 2 looking, and it's been a pretty good going for him. Only that 1 run given up on that one hit, and that one run isn't even earned. It was an error on the infield that caused it. So he's actually been pitching very nicely, and that slider has been working, but right there just got away from him.
Chase Cockrell in the cleanup spot hits that one into right shallow, and that's going to bring Lewis to second for a base hit. So Lewis is hit by the pitch. Cockrell delivers a single, and the Oaks have 2 on and nobody away with Max Weinstein coming up to the plate.
Yeah, it's a shallow right field, a nice chopper in between first and second base allows Cockrell to get on first base.
So Lewis at second, Cockrell at first, and Max Weinstein coming up to the plate for the Oaks, one of the top hitters in the CCL. Top 10 hitters in the CCL, a little over 400 as he takes that pitch low in the ground for ball 1.
Right, and he also has the most at bats of all those pitchers or all those batters. So while he may be number 5 or number 6, he actually has the most at bats. So technically, if you look at it weighted, he is the best hitter in the CCL and by far the most clutch.
Definitely the most clutch batter for the Oaks this season. As he takes the 1-0 pitch right down the heart of the plate for ball 2. Weinstein, the Cal Lutheran product. And actually during the intermission, took some time to recognize Miguel Salud. Weinstein bunts that into foul territory. We'll bring the count at 1-2. He was the most outstanding player for the Kingsmen, their Division III championship in the World Series. Wanted to give him a shout out as Weinstein down in the count 2-1.
Yeah, he broke the all-time record in saves for Division III and was the Division III player.
2-1 pitch, runners coming. Lewis to third, and he's not going to get there in time for out number 1. So Cockrell will advance over to second, but not before Lewis is caught stealing over at third.
Yeah, hit and run situation. Weinstein swung and missed on that pitch. That even the count at 2-2. If he got around on it, that would have been good, but unfortunately, a beautiful fastball that Weinstein just couldn't get a handle on.
2-2 pitch, slider is fouled back once again. Weinstein had as you mentioned, Jonathan, a little earlier, 14-game hitting streak snapped against the Barons a couple days ago when he went 0 for 5. He rebounded, going 1 for 3 against the Foresters yesterday with 2 runs scored. So 1 on and 1 away. 2-2 pitch slides outside to bring the count full at 3-2. 73-mile-an-hour slider for Aguilar. He likes to use that slider, however, the few times he's used it today, it's normally cut inside. It's the 3-2 pitch, runs just outside for ball 4. So Weinstein does a nice job of staying patient. It pays dividends as he's walked over to first, and that's the 3rd walk given up for Aguilar on the day.
Yeah, with that 1-0 lead and 2 on and 1 away now, a good opportunity here for the Oaks to strike for a couple more and take advantage of that walk. They only have 1 runner left on base in this game, but they only have 2 hits to go along with those 3 walks. It's been a lackluster offensive showing in terms of hitting for them, but I think that Santana, who's been gripping that ball pretty well and swinging that bat decently in the last couple of games, could get 1 in.
As Aguilar fires the 0-0 pitch, that's taken inside for ball 1. Yeah, Santana, the resurgence of Santana. He came up huge in yesterday's contest, going 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Not only a huge morale boost for himself, but as well as the team, much needed when he gets going. They are so tough to beat as the 1-0 pitch is chopped and fouled back for 1-1. Santana, the Hawaii Pacific All-American, led the team in batting average, and through the first 10 games of the season, he was up there for the leaders for the Oaks. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to second. But with 2 on and 1 away, just the perfect situation to capitalize here as Aguilar fires the 1-1 slider that just misses the outside corner for ball 2.
Wow, front door slider. Looked like it clipped the outside corner, but again, this home plate umpire calling these pitches close, and that's keeping everybody on their toes, keeping the batters on the balls of their feet, and the fielder is up and running as soon as every pitch is thrown, just in case.
Checks the runner at second. 2-1 pitch is fouled back for 2-2. Oaks still lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. They scored a run in the first inning, but haven't been able to get or generate any offense since. Just 2 hits on the day with no errors, and the Legends, no runs on 2 hits and 1 error, but that 1 error proved to be a costly one.
Yeah, that 1 error allowing Milo Beam to score and give that Oaks the 1-0 lead that they're still holding on to here.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch, hit over to second. Trying to catch it is Stefanik, and he'll make the play over to first for the second out of the inning, but runners advance. Cockrell over at third, Weinstein at second with 2 away, and Jordan McFarland coming up to the plate. He delivered in a huge way with a leadoff double.
And yeah, going back to that last play, Jonah, the Oaks are lucky because the ball was actually bobbled by Stefanik at second base, which didn't allow him to throw it over to second to try to complete the double play.
Runners in scoring position. 0-0 pitch. McFarland lays off for ball 1.
That was a close one there, just below the knees. And McFarland snapped that 1-for-17 start with the Oaks yesterday with that big double late in the game as a pinch hitter.
Also came around to score as he takes the 1-0 pitch outside for ball 2. McFarland was in a slump. And if you really want to consider it that he's still in a slump, you can, although given the hit yesterday, we like to think of him as in the upward trajectory.
Yeah, trying to get out of that slump, though. He is 0-for-1 today with that strikeout looking.
As Aguilar fires the 2-0 pitch that runs upstairs for ball 3.
But he has done a very good job, John, of being patient, and he's one of the only Oaks batters to really display that patience in the batter's box this season. He has 5 walks in 7 games with the Oaks now.
Here comes the 3-0 pitch, runs upstairs, and that's ball 4, and will bring the bases loaded. So Cockrell over at third. Weinstein was walked, and he's now at second. And McFarland over at first with Grant Mayu coming up to the plate for the Oaks.
Yeah, and that was the 4th walk on the day here for Aguilar, pitching away from those batters. The third straight, not third straight, but the 3rd time he's walked a batter on 4 straight pitches. It's been a tough one for him on the mound.
3 on, 2 away. Mayu steps in and watches the slider drop on the outside corner for strike 1. Mayu had a single in the second, but was picked off to end the inning. Looking to convert here. 0-1 slider drops inside for strike 2.
Beautiful 2 sliders there to start off this at-bat. And Mayu does have a home run in the season, as well as a couple extra base hits. So I wouldn't put it past him that he puts one in play here.
Trying to bring some runners home. 0-2 pitch taken outside for ball 1, and Aguilar was stepping off the mound, thought he clipped the outside corner. The home umpire thought otherwise.
Yeah, that pitch was way outside.
So 1-2 the count. Cockrell at third, Weinstein at second, and McFarland over at first. Grant Mayu looking to extend this Oaks lead. As Aguilar sets and fires the 1-2 pitch. That's hit deep into right, and that's gonna it's gonna foul in or drop into foul territory. So got a little excited there. Thought it might have clipped the first base line, but just drifts into foul territory.
Yeah, that's that jet stream out, blowing out to right here at Cal Lutheran. It never ceases to let up. It comes down into the valley here off the hills and blows out to right, and that's where you can get in trouble as a hitter trying to go opposite field as a righty over to right, and if you don't get it right in the sweet spot of that jet stream, that ball will glide foul, and that's exactly what Mayu saw there.
So Aguilar will do it again at 1-2. Regrips the ball in his hands. Bases are loaded with 2 away. Aguilar takes the sign from O'Reilly, fires the 1-2 slider that drifts outside to bring the count even at 2-2. So nice patience from Grant Mayu trying to work his way back in the count.
Yeah, he's done a good job as of late being patient in the batter's box. He was down 0-2, but a couple sliders outside that he thought about swinging at but held back wisely.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Mayu swung on and missed for strike 3. So the Oaks leave the bases loaded on no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error. But they still lead 1-0 against the Legends as we're through 4 full innings here at Spark Anderson Field. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. pitcher on the mound for the Oaks, Eric Maw, making a second appearance in the last 4 games, I should say. He played against the Academy Barons at MLB Urban Youth Academy. Gave up, unfortunately, a home run or grand slam in that game. He's 1 for 1 on the season, with Richie O'Reilly going to return to the home plate after Jake Scott was picked off at first to end the top of the 4th. Oaks still lead 1-0 here as we get set for the top of the 5th. As Eric quickly fires the pitch. That's hit deep into right, but Beam is going to get underneath it and make the catch for out number 1.
It's nice as a right fielder when you don't have to move very much and stride to your left and middle right field to be able to make that catch. And as Eric Maw on the mound, when he had a rough outing last time, can take a sigh of relief and just say, you know what? That's not that bad. 1 pitch, 1 away here to begin his outing.
Not to mention Beam, just a steady, reliable outfielder. As Luke Devaney bumps that terribly in the infield right into the glove of Maw for out number 2. Couldn't get the bunt down, and that just pops up right in the glove of Maw.
Yeah, it was a rough one, a high fastball. He pulled it up instead of pushing it down, and when you try to bunt in a fashion like that, you're more often than not going to pop it up right back to the pitcher.
So quickly, 2 away here as Grant Gamble watches that pitch run inside for ball 1. Gamble 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a fly out to left. As Maw fires the 1-0 slider that runs low and inside for ball 2. Maw likes to use the fastball, slider, 2-seamer, as well as the curve occasionally as he fires the 2-0 fastball that runs upstairs for ball 3. And quickly, Jacob Castro wants to have a word with him. Castro, one of 3 incredible catchers that the Oaks have, along with Zane Willems and Juan Gonzalez. Each possess something a little different. Castro, very reliable behind the dish. Gonzalez, incredible throws, likes to catch guys stealing as the 3-0 pitch drops below the strike zone for ball 4 to send Gamble over at first. And as I was saying, Zane Willems, always an offensive threat for the Oaks as a home run, but Castro getting the start today. So Gamble over at first on the walk. That's the first walk given up from Maw on the day. Trevor Steinman stepping into the box. He's 0 for 1 on the day, but got walked back in the first. So 1 on, 2 away. 0-0 pitch from Maw, catches the inside corner for strike 1. Maw takes the sign from Castro, fires the 0-1 pitch upstairs for ball 1. Remember to follow us on oaksbaseball.org or simulcast on YouTube. Interact with us on the YouTube chat as the 1-2 pitch hit over to Mayu at short, toss to Weinstein to second for out number 3. So the Legends on no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base still trail the Oaks 1-0 here as we're midway through 5. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back.
Finally, I'm sitting here waving and he finally.
Final batter in the bottom of the order, Jacob Castro, the leadoff hitter in the 9th spot. DJ Miller on deck, and Milo Beam in the hole. As Oaks still lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the 5th on just 1 run and 2 hits, but no errors. So they had a golden opportunity in the previous inning. They left 3 on base as Aguilar still on the mound, fires the 0-0 pitch upstairs for ball 1. Aguilar entering his 5th inning on the mound. He's just giving up 2 hits and 1 run because of the error as Castro's hits that one into foul territory for strike 1. It is unearned because of the error in the first. Does have 4 walks, but 4 strikeouts.
And that error makes the difference here.
1-1 slider, can't catch the strike zone for ball 2.
That front door slider has been unbelievable for Aguilar. You have to tip your hat off to him because he's been throwing it very effectively, just couldn't get the call there.
2-1 pitch. Castro launches that deep into right, and that one is gone. Jacob Castro hits the leadoff home run to get things started for the Oaks here in the bottom of the 5th, and they lead 2-0.
Wow. A no-doubter there, the first home run of the season for the UC Irvine commit headed there in the fall. And what better way to say hello in the inaugural game against the Long Beach Legends than with a beautiful, no-doubt home run over that 320 mark out and right.
DJ Miller gonna step in and watch that one drop in the strike zone for strike 1. There was no doubt Castro launched that into right. As Aguilar quickly deals the 0-1 pitch, Miller is going to pop that one into left field, and getting underneath it and making the catch is Jake Scott for out number 1.
What a phenomenal way for the Oaks to bring their lead up to 2 now. It's been a pretty quick game. We're only in our hour and 7th minute of play, and we're already more than midway through, but the Oaks trying to at least add a little bit of insurance on the board, and that home run certainly helps them. But now with 1 away, they still have some work to do if they want to assure that they get the win.
Milo Beam steps in, shows bunt, taps it back for strike 1. And this is a significant game with seeding and standing implications for the Oaks. They're currently tied for 2nd with the Ventura Halos at 8-6, but with a win today, that would put them in sole possession of 2nd place as Beam swings on the cutter for 0-2. Forrester is still in 1st at 10-4, but the Oaks have beaten them twice in 2 tries this season. 0-2 pitch, runs low for ball 1. With the slow Blues at 4-6, occupying the 4th spot, and they're taking on the Foresters today.
I buried my fish. Good camper.
Umpire calls, or Beam calls for time. Count 1-2, nobody on and 1 away. Castro got things started off with a solo homer. Miller flew one out to left. And that brings us to where we are with Milo Beam. 1-2 pitch. Runs upstairs for ball 2. Beam's 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to short, but a walk and a run scored. 2-2 pitch chopped into foul territory, and we'll do it again. We'd also like to take this time to thank our sponsors, Roadrunner Shuttle, for getting us to and from Santa Barbara, and Stephen Joseph Sweet Orthopedic Surgery. 2-2 pitch slides below the strike zone for ball 3.
Ooh, that was a close one. Again, those sliders are hit or miss here with this umpire, but some calls you get and some calls you don't.
Here comes the full count pitch. Tapped back, and we'll do it again. So Aguilar looking to get out of this inning, potentially just giving up 1 run, with the Purdue Boilermaker in his way. 3-2 pitch. It's fouled, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, Beam able to stay alive here with some balls at the knees. He's a very good high ball hitter, but he has been struggling a little bit, swinging on those pitches towards those kneecaps, and that's why Aguilar is attacking him there. He must have read the scouting report, but Beam doing a very good job nonetheless, fighting them off and staying alive here with a full count.
Aguilar sets and fires the 3-2 pitch that runs outside, and nice patience from Beam as he gets the walk and the sent over to first. So make that Aguilar's 5th walk of the day. and Brandon Lewis stepping into the plate.
And that's Beam's second walk, and last time he was walked, he came around and scored, so I wouldn't put it past the Oaks. That history does repeat itself a little bit here in the 5th inning. We'll see what happens, though, with Brandon Lewis at the plate.
Brandon Lewis 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The pickoff attempt comes late over to first. He was hit by a pitch in the previous inning that sent him over to first, but one of the things that jumps out to me, Johnny, is just 3 hits on the day. They're up 2-0. They failed to get the 10-hit mark as Lewis, the ball is going to get underneath him, and Beam going to get over to second and quickly going to run over to third. So the wild pitch sends Beam all the way from first to third. And as I was saying, what's impressed me is, and yes, this was the third game, or at least against the Foresters, where the Oaks failed to reach the 10-hit mark, but still able to come away with a victory. And in today's game, just 2 runs on 3 hits midway through 5, but they're still up 2-0. So Beam quickly over to third, takes a big jump over at third, and Lewis swings on the 1-0 pitch for strike 1.
Yeah, able to foul that one off the plate, and Beam showing the speed and the tenacity on the base path. That ball got away from O'Reilly, ran into the corner, and from first to third on a wild pitch is a very uncommon sight. And as a pitcher and a catcher, something you really don't want to do, especially when you're trying to climb back into a close game.
Not to mention Beam, speedy runner. As Aguilar fires the 1-1 slider, that's cut on and missed for strike 2. And you said it, Aguilar just deadly with that slider, catches the bottom part of the strike zone and catches Lewis swinging. So here comes the 1-2 slider inside. And down goes Lewis for strike number 3. That's Aguilar's 5th strikeout on the day.
Number 33,
Chase Cockrell stepping into the batter's box.
Lewis swing on that pitch in the dirt. That's a tough one because you think that slider is going to stay up, but there's a little bit of downward motion.
Cockrell watches the slider drop inside for strike 1. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Also has a stolen base. Advanced over to second in the first because of the first error, as Aguilar quickly deals the 0-1 outside for ball 1.
Yeah, that was a good stop by O'Reilly behind the plate. If that one got past him, Beam would have scored. That would have been another run for the Oaks here in this one.
Beam quickly runs from third, chopped into short, and gloving it is Steinman to make the catch and out number 3. So the Oaks leave 1 on base on 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors, but lead 2-0 thanks to the solo home run for Castro. As we're through 5 here at Spark Anderson Field. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a short
batting number 6.
Michael Stefanik
Stefanik.
stepping in for the leadoff batter for the Legends. Reese Berberet on deck and Tommy Anderson in the hole to get things started here in the top of the 6th. Oaks lead 2-0 with Travis Craven, the second Whitman pitcher, stepping in. He deals the fastball above the strike zone for ball 1. Craven has played in a few games for the Oaks this past season as the southpaw deals the 1-0 pitch that drops on the outside corner and low for strike 1. So Oaks, thanks to the solo home run from Castro, lead 2-0 here in the top of the 6th on just 3 hits and 1 error. And the Legends, no runs, 2 hits and 1 error. As the 1-1 pitch hit into left field for a leadoff base hit for Stefanik. So quickly stepping in and delivering a single to get things started here in the top of the 6th.
That's a much needed single here for the Legend. Only their 3rd hit on the game as Reese Berberet steps in the cleanup spot, and now a prime position for him to at least try to advance that runner as he represents the tying run at the plate, with Miguel Salud also, by the way, warming up in the Oaks bullpen. He has yet to make an Oaks appearance, as there's some logistical stuff with his jersey we'll explain when he comes into the game.
Yeah, so Reese Berberet stepping in, and he swings on the fastball for strike 1. Beautiful pitch from Craven, kept it low.
I need money.
So Stefanik at first. Berberet hits the 0-1 pitch to short, toss to Weinstein at second, gloving in, throwing it to Santana for the 6-4-3 double play.
Boy, are they pros, Jonah. Grant Mayu at short, Weinstein at second, and turning 2. Now 6 for 7 on the season in double plays. The other one was a forced out. They just couldn't make that secondary throw, but it is just art or poetry in motion when those two get it going for the double play ball.
So quickly the Oaks infield able to dispatch 2 Legend batters as Anderson watches that pitch drop in the outside corner for strike 1. Anderson 0 for 1 on the day. A put out from Cockrell over at 3rd and was walked in the 1st. Craven deals the 0-1 slider that catches Anderson swinging for 0-2. Craven doesn't have the velocity of some of the other pitchers do, but great with his placement and location as he deals the 0-2, swung on and missed for strike 3. So quickly, 3 up, 3 down. We're through 6.5 here at Spark Anderson, 5.5 here at Spark Anderson Field. The Oaks lead 2-0. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a short break.
Now batting, number 19, Max Weinstein.
Welcome back here as the Oaks lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. New pitcher Cole Leaf stepping into the mound for the Legends as Weinstein quickly swings and taps it for foul, strike 1. Leaf redshirted at UCLA this past season. From Long Beach, California, played at Wilson High School. As he deals the 0-1 pitch, chopped over to short and tossed over to first, but it's not going to get there in time. So Weinstein able to run through and get a leadoff base hit to get things started for the Oaks here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, they gave Weinstein a base hit. I personally would have given him an error on the shortstop because that throw was off the bag, but they're saying that Weinstein was safe anyways. That's the difference between home or when the team batting is at home, because sometimes they'll be a little bit more generous. But nonetheless, a good play here from Weinstein to get on base, leading off things here for the Oaks half of the 6th.
Cody Santana stepping in. He's 0 for 2 on the day with back-to-back groundouts to second. Weinstein goes, but Santana's hit is going to be in foul territory.
And they actually changed that hit from a hit to an error, so they put that 4th hit on the board. As soon as Santana stepped in, they changed it to an error. I'm sure our statistician Keith Schneider told the box here that should be an error. So nonetheless, that hit taken away from Weinstein and another error posted on the board for the Legends.
Yeah, so that's 2 as the pickoff attempt from Leaf is a little late. That's 2 errors on the day for the Legends. And the Oaks still just now 3 hits. Weinstein at first and Santana up at the plate. 0-1 pitch runs low for ball 1. Leaf, the lanky right-hander. One of the most reliable pitchers in the bullpen for the Legends this past season. He sets and fires the 1-1, swung on and missed for strike 2. So 1 on and 0 away here in the bottom of the 6th. Oaks struck first in the 1st, added another run in the bottom of the 5th, and looking to extend this lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Santana shakes the bat over his head as the pickoff attempt comes late over to first. And as we mentioned, he was struggling tremendously in his previous 8 or 7 games up until yesterday when he went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Is getting off to a slow start here as that one's hit past the glove of third baseman Max Weinstein. Gonna come around from second, be held up at third, and that's a stand-up double for Cody Santana.
We'll see if that's a double. That was an interesting hit. As the official score is post up, and they actually do give him a hit, so that will be a double. What a great hit for Santana, able to pull that opposite field, or hit it opposite field towards left. Diving on it was Barbaret, but he couldn't make the catch, and now the Oaks in prime position to extend their lead here with nobody away and 2 on in scoring position.
So that hit made Santana 1 for 3 on the day, but they're gonna have he's gonna have a pinch runner. Sam Shakin's gonna come on in place of Santana as a pinch runner. So Weinstein over at third, Shakin at second, and McFarland, who delivered a huge double and a run scored in the top of the 9th, looking to bring home some Oaks runners here, as that was Leafs' first hit given up on the day after Weinstein was changed to an error. And O'Reilly wants to talk it over with him with 2 on and nobody away here in the bottom of the 6th.
McFarland's gonna battle back into a good batting average, and this season he has to at least start somewhere, and I think why not start here?
0-0 pitch, catches, runs over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Leaf a little bit of a sidearm throw on that. Catches McFarland looking. McFarland was struck out looking in the 2nd as well. 0-1 runs upstairs for ball 1. McFarland one of the most patient batters for the Oaks, got on base because of a walk in the 4th. And even though doesn't have a high batting average, he is productive as the changing slider, 66-mile-an-hour beauty from Leaf, is swung on and missed for strike 2. So 2 on, nobody away. Weinstein at 3rd, Shaken at 2nd. McFarland looking to capitalize. 1-2 pitch chopped into foul territory. He's trying to work his way back in the count. Came back in a 1-2 count his last appearance. Looking to do the same here as the Oaks lead 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Leaf deals the 1-2 slider, popped into left. Shallow running underneath it is Scott. He's going to make the catch, and he's going to hold up the runners on base. So Weinstein didn't want to take a chance as he saw Scott caught that near the infield, and heads up play from him.
Yeah, if you're McFarland, the last thing you want to do is pop it up into a shallow part of the field. That went into shallow left. But nonetheless, a good outing in that at bat for Cole Leaf. He played it well, got ahead in the count, threw a slow pitch that McFarland swung early on and popped it up. That was the best case scenario for the Legends.
Grant Mayu steps in.
Why do you like him so much?
And he hits that one into shallow right, and it's going to drop for a base hit. Weinstein's going to come around first. Shaken's coming. Here comes the throw, the slide. Knocked. It is going to get there in time. RBI single from Grant Mayu sends 2 runners home for the Oaks, and the Oaks lead 4-0 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, he also advanced to second on the throw. What a great hit in a shallow center field. And that was an interesting call because it definitely looked like Shaken was tagged out in time. He didn't make the slide. He just ran right into O'Reilly, but I guess he got his foot in before the tag, as there's going to be no conversation between the home plate umpire and any of the Legends personnel. But what a way for the Oaks to take a lead here, 4-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, it certainly looked from our vantage point like maybe O'Reilly might have been able to tag Shaken, but running hard and running through, and the Oaks lead 4-0 on 5 hits here in the bottom of the 6th. Mayu at second, and stepping in and taking that pitch is Jacob Castro for 0-1. Castro coming off a solo home run in the 5th inning, with 1 on and 1 away. Leaf deals the 1-1, and that's hit past the glove of the first baseman, but into foul territory. So 0-2's the count. Mayu over at second. Castro looking to extend his hitting streak and bring him to potentially 2 for 3 on the day. The left-handed batter plays for UC Irvine, the Anteaters. The only Anteater on the team, as Leaf deals the 0-2 up and inside for ball 1.
Yeah, a little bit of overextension there from the mound, a fastball that just had a little bit of outward tail, allowing it to curve inside. Probably a cutter, I would say, but it was pretty slow. The side armor, mean fastball is between 82 and 85 miles an hour.
Leaf fires the 1-2, hit over to second, and Stefanik's going to toss it over to Anderson for out number 2, but Mayu advances over to third.
I would say that was a productive out, even though that puts 2 outs on the board, because now you can get a bloop single somewhere in the field as DJ Miller at the top of the order steps in and score that run from third base.
Grant Mayu, a speedy runner, but maybe not quite as speedy as DJ Miller, who's coming up to the plate for the Oaks. He's 0 for 2 on the day with a fly out, a ground out. Did draw a walk and a stolen base as he pops that one deep into right, into center, I should say, and Gamble's going to get underneath it to make the catch. So the Oaks put 2 on the boards on 2 hits, 1 error and 1 left on base, but lead 4-0 as we're through 6 full here at Sparky Anderson Field. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Back, everybody. My name's Jonah Malkin. I just did the play-by-play for 5 and 6, and to conclude the final 3 innings, my broadcasting partner, Jonathan Rifkin.
Thank you, Jonah. Oaks still lead 4-0 as we hit 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Legends. Miguel Salud, the new pitcher on the mound for the Oaks, getting his first appearance of the season. He is sporting number 21 on his back, which is actually Jason Oliver's number, as they're waiting for the number 13 jersey for the Oaks to be printed and sent over. So until then, he will be sharing the same number as Oliver. Oliver not going to play in today's game because of that, as Harrison Smith, steps in with 2 strikeouts under his belt and takes a curveball high for ball 1. Travis Craven's day is done. 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout under his belt. As Salud is getting his first outing with the Oaks, he got extended rest, as he was a Cal Lutheran Kingsman, as the 1-0 pitch is fired in, swung and missed for strike number 1. He was the World Series most outstanding player this year in Division III. In the 2 games against Washington and Jefferson, he had 1 save, 4 strikeouts, only 1 hit in 3 innings pitched, as the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed for strike number 2. And that allowed him to get the save and the win. And Cal Lutheran came back in that second game to beat Washington and Jefferson 7-3 to win the championship. On the season, Salud had a 3.0 ERA with a total of 50 1/3 inning pitches. He deals the 1-2 pitch, cut on a missed for strike 3. Down goes Smith, so he has struck out 3 times. He's hit the trifecta. 1 out on the board. Oaks lead 4-0 to continue his stats at Cal Lutheran in 33 games. 50 1/3 inning pitch. He had 45 strikeouts, a 3-2 record. 14 saves, which was a Cal Lutheran record, and led Division III. And only a total of 8 walks on the season. A phenomenal stat line for the Cal Lutheran product, one of 3 Cal Lutheran Kingsmen on the Oaks team, as there'll be a meeting with 1 away here, and Jake Scott stepping in, 1 for 2 on the day with a single. He's picked off, though, and a ground out. By the way, a couple of shifts in the field for the Oaks. I'll give you the lay of land here after the first pitch to the Houston Baptist product, as Salud toes the rubber. With 1 away, kicks and fires the first pitch in. And it's a curveball taken upstairs for ball 1. The field for the Oaks, Milo Beam is still in right. DJ Miller still in center, and Jordan McFarland in left. Chase Cockrell moves from 3rd to 1st. Weinstein still at 2nd, as the 1-0 pitch is dealt from the Kingsmen. A fastball popped up, but foul for strike number 1. Sam Shakin comes into the game at short. Mayu moves from short to 3rd. Jacob Castro still behind the dish, and Miguel Salud is the 4th pitcher on the day for the Oaks on the mound.
I'm more of like a math nerd. Even
Runs across the board now, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away here in the top of the 7th. Oaks up 4-0 on 5 hits and no errors. As the righty deals the 1-1 pitch, a curveball popped up over to right. Running back on it is Beam, and he is going to get it over his shoulder, short of the warning track for out number 2. He lost it in the sun, but was able to track it at the last minute and make the grab.
He's just unbelievable in that right field,
Now batting,
making
number
play
11,
after
Richie
play.
O'Reilly.
If you want to just look at yesterday, you can, but just such a reliable outfielder, and that's why Solis loves having him there. He's just like Medell's the security blanket on the mound. Beam is the security blanket out in right field.
2 away now, and Richie O'Reilly stepping in. 5 straight retired, now going back to the last inning for the Oaks, up 4-0 here. Salud deals the first pitch, a fastball at 88 miles an hour inside corner for strike number 1. 1 for 2 on the day is O'Reilly with a single and a flyout. No runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Legends. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Oaks here in the top of the 7th. The righty deals the 0-1 pitch. It's blooped over into shallow right. It's going to drop for a 2-out base hit. Now 2 for 3 out of the number 8 spot is the Georgetown Hoya. First hit on the day, or excuse me, in the inning for the Legend. And they have 2 away with the runner on.
Yeah, nice job from O'Reilly digging that one to hit it into shallow right. But Salud hasn't been phased by the moment, even though this is his first appearance. He's played well so far. A strikeout, a forced flyout, and just 1 hit.
Now in the game to bat for the Legends.
In the number 9
From
spot,
Kansas University,
in place
number
from Luke
24,
Devaney
Connor
from the University of
Montgomery.
Kansas, is Connor Montgomery, a freshman. Coming into pinch hit in the number 9 spot. On the day for Devaney, who's out in right field, 0 for 2 with a pop-up over to first on a bunt and a flyout over to right. As the Jayhawk steps in and takes the pitch low for ball 1. 1 runner on, 2 away here. 1-0 the count now. 4-0 the Oaks lead over the Legend. Coming off an exciting 6-4 win yesterday against the Foresters. The Oaks win this game. They'll be able to take sole possession of second place in the CCL Central as the Halos have an interleague game today. 1-0 pitch is inside, called ball 2-0 now. The Foresters have a game at 4:30 against the San Luis Obispo Blues at Pershing Park. The Blues win that one and the Oaks win out today. The Oaks will only be a game back now of first place. A lot of big games for every team in the Central as it's very tight. The 2-0 pitch, waited on and taken for a strike on the inside corner. A fastball at 87 miles an hour. And now Salute has a strike up on the board. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 away, 1 on here in the top of the 7th inning. Castro gives the sign to his pitcher, toes the rubber, gloves the ball. Nods, kicks, and fires the 2-1 pitch. It's swung and a miss for strike number 2.
Yeah, and Salude's done a nice job keeping both those pitches low and inside. So even if Devaney was able to ground it or make contact with it, it would probably lead to a easy ground out in the field.
Torres and Sylvester both getting warm in the pen for the Oaks, a couple of veterans. As Salute nods and deals the 2-2 pitch, it's popped up but foul out of play, and we'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Oaks would like to thank their sponsors, Roadrunner Shuttle, for getting the Oaks safely to and from their away games, and Joseph Sweet, orthopedic surgeon in Oxnard, California, along with Coroni's Bar and Grill in Newberry Park, and Jimmy John's Sandwich. If you want to be an Oaks sponsor, email at info@oaksbaseball.org with any information that you could provide and with your interest. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, 1 on here as the 2-2 pitch is chopped foul over the third base side, and we'll do it again for the 3rd straight time at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and Castro gonna talk it over with Salute. Both Coach Salias as well as the catchers like to have conversations with their pitchers in a 2-out situation with a runner on base.
Oh yeah, they already started.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Salute sets once again against the Jayhawk Montgomery. And fires the 2-2 pitch, and it's cut foul once again. Into foul territory. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Oaks. No runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Legend. The Legend coming off a win against the Blues yesterday. The Oaks coming off a win against the Foresters yesterday. The Oaks are in the latter half now of their 8 games and 8-day stretch, which has been spanning last week, as the 2-2 pitch from Salute is a curveball hit, gloved by third baseman Mayu, and he'll toss it over to Weinstein at second base in time for out number 3. Legends get no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're through 6.5 here as we hit the 7th inning stretch. Grab a hot dog and a nice cold beverage and enjoy some Oaks baseball when we come back. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV, simulcasted on TO2. The Oaks lead it 4-0 at the 7th inning stretch. And also, don't forget to sing a little Sweet Caroline. Here at Cal Lutheran, we're going to keep it on as we send it to our PA announcer and let you enjoy the 7th inning.
Gone. Because it didn't even like look like very much. They just we could classify that as a but like classifies as a pending offer. Because it was actually contested. So it's in escrow now? Is that what they call it?
Now batting, number 30, Milo Beam.
Back here at Sparky Anderson Field, Jonah Malk and myself, Jonathan Rifkin. Hope you enjoyed Sweet Caroline in the 7th inning stretch. A fan favorite here at Cal Lutheran as Beam steps in. 0 for 1 on the day with a pair of walks and a ground out. Also has a run scored. As the first pitch, he shows bunt, gets it down towards third base. It's a nice one. O'Reilly is going to let it roll, and it just drops into foul territory. That is the one thing I think about this Cal Lutheran ballpark that is frustrating for players, because it is a wonderful venue, is that the infield grass is a little bit elevated compared to the infield dirt, which means that if a ball rolls on the line and it hits that grass, it's going to alter its course due to the level of the grass and go foul. That was a beautiful bump, but due to that fact, it ended up going foul, and now Beam is down in the count 0-1.
That is true. However, the Oaks have had one of those kind of just stay drifting on the third base line, but no doubt that could be a little frustrating.
Shows bunt again, though. 1 pitch is fouled again towards third base. 0-2 now for Beam. Waiting on deck is Brandon Lewis in the hole. Chase Cockrell, Cole Leaf still on the mound. Oaks up 4-0. 5 hits, no errors for them. No runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the visiting Legends. Play their home ball at Long Beach City College. We'll give you a lay of the land for them in just one moment, as there is a switch out and right as the 0-2 pitch is a curveball up high, swung and missed for strike 3. Down goes Beam, the first strikeout on the day for Leaf. Montgomery is out there in left. In center is Grant Gamble, and left
Now batting, number 22,
is Jake Scott.
Lewis.
Anderson at first, Stefanik at second, Steinman at short, Barber Ray at third. Behind the dish is O'Reilly, and on the mound is Leaf with 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Lewis on the day, 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. He was hit by a pitch, but caught stealing as well, as he takes a slider outside for ball 1. The Oaks will cap off the 2-game homestand tomorrow against the Orange County Riptide. Game at 5 o'clock as the 1-0 pitch is in the dirt, but swung on and missed for strike number 1. Then they'll be hit the road on Tuesday to cap off the 8 games in 8 days marathon when they play the Ventura Halos in Ventura. The Oaks will have a day off on Wednesday as the 1-1 pitch is taken for ball number 2, 2-1 the count. The Oaks will have a day off on Wednesday before they open up a 3-game homestand against the Puff Caps on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday before they end on Sunday in Ventura as the 2-1 pitch is cut on and missed for a strike 2-2. They'll end their weekend next Sunday in Ventura against the Halos again. That'll be on July 2nd as we're already at the end of June. The 2-2 pitch from the side armor is a changeup just low for ball 3. Full count now to Brandon Lewis, who plays his college ball at L.A. Pierce College. Batted .419 this past year, but is transferring. Originally committed to CSUN, has decommitted, and is now searching for another home. The 3-2 pitch is ripped foul into the Oaks dugout, and we'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and Leaf's done a nice job of keeping a lot of his sliders in the inside and low, so even if Lewis is able to make contact with it, forcing him in a jam.
The 3-2 pitch is a slider, cut on and missed outside for strike number 3. 2 consecutive strikeouts here for Leaf, and there are 2 outs on the board now for Chase Cockrell in the cleanup spot. On the day, 1 for 3. He reached on an error back in the first, singled back in the fourth, stole second, was stranded on third thereafter, and lined out to short in his 3 at-bats. The UCLA Bruins deals the first pitch way outside for ball 1 to Cockrell, the Ole Miss Rebel. Wind blowing out to right. Nice turnout here from Cal Lutheran. 50 or so fans on both sides of us, though. 1-0 pitch is a 2-hopper to short, sliding and making the glove of Stefanik, and he is going to toss it over to first on a beautiful play for out number 3. Oaks go down quietly here in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're headed to the 8th inning. Oaks up 4-0 right here on KDTV. We'll be right back. top of the 8th. Welcome back, everybody. Grant Gamble at the top of the order steps in. Jacob Sylvester, the new pitcher on the mound from CISA, stepping in place of Miguel Salud, who went an inning, gave up a hit, a strikeout, nothing else doing for him. Gamble on the day 0 for 2 with a walkout in the number 1 spot. The first pitch from Sylvester is taken inside for ball 1. Gamble goes to Azusa Pacific University. Now, I have a story leading into my trivia question for you, Jonah. Azusa Pacific in Central California as the 1-0 pitch is fired in and popped into center field. Running over to it is Miller for out number 1. Azusa Pacific. Azusa is a town in Central California. It's spelled A-Z-U-S-A. That's how it's spelled. And that's an interesting story. When the town was incepted back in the 1800s, as Trevor Steinman steps in the number 2 spot, they needed a name. They wanted something creative. They said, how do we make this town stand out? It's a small town in the San Bernardino Valley out by Clovis, California. The righty from Chico State steps in. Sylvester deals the first pitch low for ball 1. Sylvester actually tripped on the mound. Did a little somersault, but Azusa Pacific, when it was incepted, they said, we needed a cool name, something to make this little town stand out. And they said, why not embody the entire United States? So they decided that it's going to be A to Z USA, embodying every single town in the United States within its name. That's why it's called Azusa, A to Z USA. The 1-0 pitches, a one-hopper to short, sliding on his Weinstein, gloving in and making the throw for out number 2. A beautiful play from the second baseman. So that's a little fact for you about Azusa Pacific. But now my trivia question to you, Jonah.
Well, I actually was going to say I had a quick story back in high school. When I went to Beverly Hills High School, our basketball team played in their D3 championship at Azusa Pacific.
Yeah, so there you go. Stepping in is Michael Stefanik. That leads to my trivia question. As the righty Sylvester with 2 outs on the board, Oaks up 4-0, deals the first pitch in for ball 1. And feel free to interact with us on Twitter and on YouTube for this one. Jonah, your trivia question of the day is there are 2 outs. A 1-0 pitch in is taken for a strike on the outside corner. There's a prime minister in Africa that goes by the name of Haile Mariam Desalegn. He attended Azusa Pacific. What country in Africa is he the prime minister of? He is the most notable alumni from Azusa. The 1-1 pitch is outside for ball 2. Azusa Pacific plays in Division II sports, but a very good academic school with about 5,000 students. Which country is he the prime minister of in Africa? And it is a very random school for an African dignitary to go to, mind you, but he still went there. It's actually a known country, so it's not like a weird one. As the 2-1 pitch is popped foul. High in the sky, but out of play at 2-2 the count. I'll give you 2 guesses.
I'm going to go with Tanzania.
You're close, but you're wrong. It's a little bit further south and on the west coast, actually the east coast of Africa. Again, it's well known, this dignitary, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. Oh, I just gave you the answer, actually.
Is it Ethiopia,
It is
Johnny?
Ethiopia. I just completely gave you the answer on that one. Stefanik steps back in with the 2-2 pitch dealt from Sylvester. It's popped up into shallow left field. Running back on it is shaken at short. And McFarland in left, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. Going down quietly in the 8th are the Legends. So the trivia question was, Haile Mariam Desalegn, the Prime Minister of what country, went to Azusa Pacific? And the answer was Ethiopia. I gave it to Jonah. He said to Tanzania at first, so we'll give him a half a point on that one as we hit the break. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. That was the Oaks trivia question of the day. Oaks up in the bottom of the 8th, up 4-0. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll Back here in the bottom of the 8th, Jonah Malkin, myself, Jonathan Rifkin, delighted to be with you on a beautiful Sunday afternoon from Cal Lutheran. Oaks up 4-0 as Will Picketts will step in the number 5 spot in place of Max Weinstein. Picketts from Pierce, the son of Pierce Community College head coach Bill Picketts. As there's a new pitcher on the mound as well, Cole Trejas from Coppin State stepping in, the short right-handed sidearm pitcher. Cole Leaf State has done 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 2 errors as the first pitch is up high for ball 1. Oh, excuse me, Corey Trejas, not Cole Trejas. It was Cole Leaf was the previous pitcher. Got them the first names confused. Nonetheless, though, 1-0 in 2. Picketts is down outside, 2-0. Oaks up 4-0 here. As they were able to retire the Legends in short order in the 8th. Wind blowing steadily out to right. As the Coppin State product deals, the 2-0 pitch, and that one's popped high and deep to left field, but Scott is going to trot back on it and make a catch for out number 1. By the way, Max Weinstein on the day went 0 for 2 with a strikeout, a walk, and he reached on error, eventually scored back in the 6th inning. And that's going to bring up Sam Shaken for his first at-bat. He came in as a pinch runner in the 6th for Cody Santana. He eventually scored the second of 2 runs in the 6th inning. The first pitch into Shaken is upstairs for ball 1. Shaken plays his college follow-up Valparaiso from Chatsworth, California, just down the road. The 1-0 pitch fired in is popped way back and out of play for ball 1, or excuse me, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away here, 4-0 to score. Is Joe Torres, as well as Ty Harper now, warm up in the Oaks bullpen. Oaks up 4-0 here in the bottom of the 8th. The 1-1 pitch nicks the shoulder of Shaken, and he will be hit by a pitch. The second Oaks hit by a pitch in this game. The other one was Brandon Lewis back in the 4th, and they have 1 on with 1 away here. And Jordan McFarland, 0 for 2 on the day with a walk, a strikeout, and a flyout will step in, the Arkansas Razorback. 2 for 19 now on the season with the Oaks. Trying to find his rhythm here. 4-0 the score, Oaks up. As the Coppin State product deals the first pitch inside for ball 1. Coppin State plays their ball in the Mid-Eastern American Athletic Conference out in Baltimore, Maryland. Division 1, mid-level Division 1 schools. The 1-0 pitch is ripped on and missed for strike number 1. He's probably be the last Legends pitcher, I'd assume, is unless the Legends can at least tie the game up or take the lead in the top of the 9th, they will have no other defensive opportunities. The 1-1 pitch is a changeup inside for ball 2.
Yeah, and McFarland once again doing a nice job staying patient in the batter's box, making Trey's work for the out.
2-1 pitch in from Trejas is inside for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 away. Feel free to interact with us here in the latter part of this game in the live chat box in the YouTube stream or on Twitter at Kaneo_Oaks. He's at Jonah_Malkin. I'm at Johnny Riff with 1F. Runners going, 3-1 pitch is swung on a miss. Shaken slides in. The throw is upstairs and not in time. Sam Shaken with his 2nd stolen base on the season. Runner in scoring position now in a full count for McFarland.
Yeah, Shaken putting on the Jets. Quickly got over to 2nd on that one.
The payoff pitch is hit high and deep to left field. Running back on it is Scott as it's going to drop and bounce on top of the wall. Coming around and scoring from 2nd is Shaken. And McFarland on the full count pitch makes Trejas pay for throwing a looping slider that he takes for an RBI double. The Oaks take a 5-0 lead, and he's emulating what happened last night with that double. 1 away now with Grant Mayu stepping in.
Yeah, just an optimistic showing from McFarland. Came in clutch last night. Although the moment isn't quite the same in today's game as the Oaks already had a fairly substantial lead, it's good to see McFarland get going and deliver. That's the 2nd huge hit that's hit the wall.
Mayu steps in now on the day, 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. Shows bunt, gets it down, gloving it is O'Reilly. No, it's going to be Reyes. The throw is in time for out number 2, but advancing on the sacrifice was McFarland. So the Oaks now with 2 away have a runner on. Count that as a sack, 1-3 put out for those keeping score at home. And now Jacob Castro in the number 9 spot will step in, 1 for 3 with a solo shot to right in his 5th inning appearance. Also a ground out and a pop out as well. On deck, TJ Miller to hold Milo Beam if we get that far. As Treyas deals the first pitch at the knees for a strike. 0-1 the count. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors here for the Oaks. No runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Legends. Legends trying to continue their winning streak, but the Oaks are making it hard. They won yesterday against the Blues. The 0-1 pitch is a looping curveball. 2-hopper over to Stefanik at second. He's going to veer to his left, make the catch, and toss it over to first for out number 3. Oaks get 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're through 8 full innings here at Cal Lutheran University. George Sparky Anderson Field. Oaks lead 5-0 right here on KDTV. We'll be right back.
The Oaks from Texas Tech, number 4.
Last hope here at Sparky Anderson Field for the Legends in the top of the 9th. Welcome back, everybody. He's Jonah Malkin. I'm Jonathan Rifkin. Ty Harpenau is now on the mound for the Oaks from Texas Tech. Reese Barbarette, the number 4 hitter in the lineup for the Legends, steps in. New second baseman in place of Max Weinstein, by the way, for the Oaks is Will Pickett. As Barbarette steps in, and pops foul the first pitch back for ball 1. Berberet on the day. 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a flyout, and hit into a double play back in the 6th. Ty Harper now making his 4th appearance with the Oaks here. Toes the rubber, kicks and fires the 0-1 pitch. It's popped foul against the screen. And now he's ahead in the count 0-2. If the Oaks hold on to win this game, they're up 5-0 here in the top of the 9th. The win would go to Eric Ma as he pitched that 5th inning for the Oaks, and the loss would go to Josh Aguilar as the 0-2 pitch is taken for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to the Long Beach City College product. Stepping back in, waving that bat. The 1-2 pitch from Harper now is popped high into foul territory. Back on it is Cockrell at first base, and he is going to make the out. Put 1 up on the board now here in the top of the 9th, and Oaks are 2 away from putting another win up on the board. After a 3-game losing skid, they took an exciting one against the Santa Barbara Foresters yesterday, and now up 5-0 with 1 away. They're looking like their old selves as Tommy Anderson in the number 5 spot steps in. 1 for 3 on the day with a strikeout and a ground out as he fouls the first pitch out of play for strike number 1. from DeWan University, and Nebraska plays NAIA ball there in Crete. Shouldering the bat. The 0-1 pitch from the Red Raiders, a grounder to short, shaking a weight on it. Deal over to first base in time for out number 2. And now the Oaks are 1 out away from taking this one against the Legend. One of 3 meetings between these two teams. The only time that the Legends will be at Cal Lutheran, but the Oaks will be in Long. Actually, excuse me, that's one of 4 times the teams will play. So Legend will actually be back on July 13th. The Oaks will be in Long Beach on July 11th to play the Legend. Legends leading the CCL South right now, but the Riptide right on their heels. Harrison Smith steps in and takes the first pitch outside for a ball. No, it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter now in Griffin Keller from Santa Clara, the redshirt freshman. Stepping in on a 1-0 count and takes a slider on the outside corner for a strike. Keller redshirted his freshman season at Santa Clara. A very good baseball school up in Northern California as the 1-1 pitch is dealt and chopped up to mound off the glove of Harper now, but Wilt Pickett will glove it and fire it in time over to second base for out number 3. So the Oaks get the win against the Long Beach Legends, 5-0. The final line, Oaks get 5 runs on 6 hits and no errors. They leave a total of 7 runners on base. The Legends get no runs on 4 hits, 2 errors, and they leave a total of 6 runners on base. The win goes to Eric Maw for the Oaks. He is now 2-1 on the season. The losing pitcher is Josh Aguilar. He is now 0-for-1 on the season. No save here for the Oaks. As the Oaks now improve to 13-6 on this season, 9-6 in the CCL, they take sole possession of second place now in the CCL Central. Jonah, good second win in a row for the Oaks. You got to feel good now coming out of that slump, and they're playing good baseball once again.
Yeah, it really is satisfying to see this team regroup and rebound after 3 consecutive losses. They come on the road into a hostile environment in Santa Barbara, get the win against their Central Division rival, and then come back here. And sometimes teams can be a little lackluster when they come home after long road trips, but didn't see any signs of rust from the Oaks. And what's probably more impressive for me is the fact that they still won 5-0 on just 6 hits. And this is the 4th time in the last 4 games where they've failed to reach the 10-hit mark, but somehow still came away with a pretty convincing and dominating win.
Yeah, they've done a good job not leading runners on base, and that's been the difference in the last 2 days. Being the Foresters yesterday and taking today's game against the Legend. That's going to do it for us here on the broadcast. The Oaks win it once again 5-0. We're going to switch over to Twitter for Oaks postgame. Jonah will be interviewing Castro, the catcher, who had a home run today and went 1-for-4, and Miguel Salud, who was the Division III most outstanding player in the World Series for the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen. But that's going to do it for us here on YouTube and KDTV. Join us tomorrow at 4:50 when the Oaks take on the Orange County Riptide in game number 3 of that series. They're split 1-1. First pitch at 5 o'clock. For everybody who made this broadcast possible, for Chris Ruffinelli, our team ops guy here at Cal Lutheran, our statistician Keith Schneider, all the interns, our KDTV station director Bob Allen, Coach David Solis, and the entire Oaks staff, my broadcasting partner Jonah Malkin. My name is Jonathan Rifkin, signing off and wishing you a very wonderful rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the beautiful day. If you're on the East Coast, I hope it's as beautiful as it is here. And we'll see you tomorrow. Once again, the Oaks take it 5-0. Head over to Twitter, where Jonah will have the post-game interviews. Until then, we'll see you at 4:50 tomorrow. Oaks take it once again 5-0 over the Legend. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday.